Welcome back to another video. Today we have a quite special R32 GTR, one that I've been promising to bring to the channel for quite a while and do an actual video on. This GTR belongs to my dad, who's massively into GTRs and Japanese cars. He's owned it for a year, 18 months perhaps. It was imported from Harlow Jap imports. They generally only import high quality cars, I would say kind of high-end Japanese imports, and this is no exception. This is an Endless R32, so it was owned supposedly by the guy that runs Endless in Japan. It was one of his personal cars. So this car is a road-going track car. We're assuming that it's done quite a bit of track work in Japan, going by the spec of it and the way it's been set up, but we can't confirm that. I can't find any YouTube videos or any evidence that it has done track work, but yeah, I'll let you make your own judgment on it. So it's got D2 brakes on the front. They are, well, they do appear to be pretty decent brakes. Obviously on the cheaper end of the scale when it comes to big brakes, but they seem to work quite well, at least on the street. And they're a noticeable upgrade on the stock R32 GTR brakes, which unless you've got the V-spec Brembos, they're pretty crap really, I would say. It's also got wheels. I'm pretty certain they're either Work Motions or the CRKs. I can't remember which ones. I think they're 9.5 by 18s, as you can see here. And also they've got the Bridgestone Potenza RE71R tyres, which are kind of like a semi-slick tyre. So being a track car, or with its focus being track work, it's got a good kind of handling package on it. HKS coilovers, obviously the Bridgestone tyres, work wheels, and D2 brakes all round. So yeah, I guess from a visual point of view, it's as stock as a GTR can look. The only difference, I would say, or the only different things are the mirrors. It's got different mirrors to stock. It's also got either a carbon or fiberglass bonnet with the aero catches. But yeah, apart from that, it is pretty stock looking GTR. So moving on to the interior, it has a fixed Recaro bucket seat. It has this bolt-in roll cage, which arguably probably doesn't add a great deal of protection, but it's a Japanese standard. At the moment, it's kind of stripped in the back. It has the rear seats missing. We will be looking at doing a seat delete kit for it, or getting one sorted. We've got a Nismo gear knob and a Nardi steering wheel, which we fitted along with an NRG quick release steering hub Boss, purchased from Driftworks. There's also, if you can see, a pretty cool HKS lap timer, some Defi gauges, Blitz boost controllers, and a couple of other bits and pieces. HKS FCOM Pro, quite a common Japanese ECU. So under the bonnet, looking quite tasteful, I guess, for a Japanese engine bay. It's a 2.8 stroker HKS engine. We've got Gredi intakes, Gredi air filters. There's a different branded oil cooler on the front, Endless catch tank, and it also has the V-cam, which is variable cam timing setup that HKS designed way before they had variable valve or variable cam stuff available for GTRs. So I suppose it's kind of unique in a way, to my knowledge anyway. So yeah, this setup is very responsive. I'm not sure what turbos it's got on it, but it does make for a very responsive drive, obviously with the 2.8 stroker as well. You've got that low down torque, low down grunt. Yeah, so that is the engine bay. I can't really show you underneath it without getting on the ramp, but we can certainly take it for a road test and yeah, see what it goes like. So, the R32 GTR, obviously it's a legendary car, and even in stock form it's a fun car to drive, but there's no way it's comparable to a modified one like this. It's a completely different beast. Now don't get me wrong, obviously if you change half the car on any car, it's going to be a completely different car, shall we say. And the amount of mods on this kind of makes it, you know, a complete transformation over a stock R32 GTR. I would say driving this, I don't think it feels necessarily any more uncomfortable suspension wise. Obviously it's very firm compared to a stock one, but it just feels nice and planted. The gearbox is nice and precise, a little bit like the 350Z gearbox. It's really crisp and precise when you change gear. And this was a new box when we got the car, when my dad got the car. So it was a new 5-speed box. Not sure where they managed to get that from, but either way, it feels lovely to change gear and it's nice and smooth. No crunching of gears or anything like that. I will say that the brakes in this one, the D2s, although they're good, they're not as responsive as the Alcon brakes on the R34 GTR. They're just not quite the same level of bite, and those brakes on the Alcons, they just seem to be getting better and better the more you drive it. These brakes are good, but they're not quite the same level. But then the price reflects that, so it's kind of understandable. But yeah, the engine is really responsive. I think obviously having a twin turbo setup helps enormously, but not just that. Having the 2.8 stroker, it obviously increases displacement, helps to spool them turbos, and certainly makes it a torquey, responsive package anyway. So yeah, it's a whole lot of fun to drive, and it handles as you'd expect. And it makes all the right noises. But for me, much like the M3 that I've got, I feel these cars are best on track, or it would be best on track. We've never taken this one on track, but that's what it's built for. So really, to get the most out of any kind of modified car, track car, be it Ferrari, Porsche, on the track is what it's designed for, it's what it's been built for, and it's where you'll have the most fun and you can really use the car to its max. But still, it's nice to have a car that you can do both with, and so for some people, owning like a race car or a track prepared car that they can drive on the road is obviously, it's what, you know, it's like stuff that the childhood dreams are made of. So certainly my dreams anyway. That dog walker was not impressed. Clearly not impressed with the GTR, even though I knocked it into neutral to go past him. Now that is one thing that I will touch on. Modified cars, generally I would say they get a bad rep, and you get people looking at you in a bit of a, I don't know, with a bit of a funny look, be it a GTR or M3, not necessarily M3 because that's kind of standard, but certainly the GTRs and any other modified car that I've owned, driven, people will not let you out in junctions and generally just treat you differently, I feel. But I guess that's part of just owning a modified car. Kind of, if you stand out, then you're susceptible to be kind of singled out by certain people. But not much you can do about that. I will say that I am getting very, very hot in here, hot and sweaty, as you can probably tell by my face. knows? Feels cool. Maybe it has got aircon. That would be a shock if the aircon actually works. Because I imagine it's probably on R12, which is the old gas. But without a doubt, this is one of my all-time favourite cars. I think the 32 GTR, probably my favourite out of the 3 GTRs. Second to that will be the 34. But yeah, I love the way this car drives. The way it delivers its power is just so, I would say like linear, but it's, as with all turbo, well, most turbo cars, it's like a kick up the arse when it does come in. But it's, and I've driven some GTRs that have been really laggy, like a big single, but this being twins and a 2.8, it just goes, and it's a fun car. It wants to go sideways in second, but then it hooks up in third and then it just goes. So yeah, we think it's around 500, 550 horsepower. Well, what can I say? It's an R32 GTR. It's got all the right bits on it, and hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed driving this, or nearly as much. I'm hoping that the exhaust note sounds